All right, we're live. Let's see what happens here today. Switched my whole setup up. I switched over to using Streamlabs OBS as opposed to just OBS. And then I also switched to using my one less display. So I used to have two big displays. Now I'm switching over to my monitor on my laptop and my other screen. So I don't know, hoping this I'm pushing less stuff and that'll help. We'll see. So today I'm really just working on some grid stuff here with my CSS. That's really kind of the first place I'm starting, and then we'll go from there and we'll see what else we can get to. If my computer melts down in the middle of it, then we'll figure it out. All right, so one of the things I was working on was this grid system here. Actually working with CSS grids, so I don't want to work with Flexbox. So I'm just kind of making this myself. You don't need like a bootstrap grid system anymore. I don't know if you ever really did, but people used them. You can just use CSS grids now to kind of do most of the stuff. So that's what I'm doing. But you do still need kind of a little bit of a grid system in and of itself. So I do have this way of kind of saying, here's a grid, these are the columns that I want things in, because I want to have some sort of complex layouts. And you can do it without using like this call system, but it just becomes a little bit harder and everything becomes very bespoke on each page, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have like the registration page and then the registration payment page, which has the CSS for just the grid on that page. I guess you could do it. I just don't want to. There's something else coming out, or that's supposedly going to get support called CSS. Well, it's for the grids. It's called subgrids, and I think that'll have a lot better stuff with this. So it'll kind of help. It'll allow you to make these like grids inside of grids, and I think it'll do it in an easier way. I don't know enough about it to really even talk about it, other than just to say that it's supposed to be a thing and it's supposed to be better. But what that better is and how it works, I have no idea. All right, so where are we now? Let's go over to register workspace. Yeah, let's start here. So I'm going to need my grid on here. And really this is just a 12 column. So that's for this, and then I can say the same thing I think for here. And this one's going to be a little bit different because I don't want the button, like if I just said call 12, it's going to spread it across the entire bottom of the page. And I think that's fine for, well, it ain't fine for that view, but that becomes gigantic. So I got to work on that. And I got to work on this view a little bit. So for this view, I think I want it centered. We'll do 6 centered. I got that back. So basically all this is the way grids work. You see display grid, template columns, you give it how many columns you want. So in this case, I want 12 repeatable 1FR, 1 fractional unit columns, which means that's each column is 1/12 of the page, regardless of how big the page is. I'm giving it a gap of 1 rem or 16 pixels. And there's just a span for each one of these things. So you don't have to do any math anymore, which is nice. So I don't have to do like even a calc. I don't have to do any of that stuff. All I have to do now is just say grid column auto, meaning it's just going to try to fit itself in wherever it can. So the next column it can find, like the next free column, and if it could span that number. So span 12 means essentially, since this is a 12 column grid, start at 1 and span through 12. And then it just kind of does that all the way down the page. So column 12 will, or column 10 will be auto 10, so it's going to span 10 columns, span 9 columns. And then the only other thing I have in here, what did I do? I don't think that's actually broke. What did I do? Unknown word. That looks weird. Doesn't think this is. All right. So we want to start at, what is it, 3? Column 8 centered. Oh. Okay, so that's right. So now you can see it spans 8 columns. Yada yada yada. But even that's too much. So I'm going to go down to, let's do 4 centered. Doesn't look too bad. All right. Okay, so let's fix that. That looks a little awkward. When that popped in, it's now popping in, I think, in a new grid column or grid row. So yeah, let's not put that there. It's probably still gonna look weird. Yeah, that's funny. It's not where I want it to go either. Oh, you know what I do? I know what I'll do. All right. Yes, but I want it centered. trying to figure out the point of this for right now. I don't like the look of it. I'm going to get rid of it. Test 1 through 3. Hit check. Okay, great. It's available. Got to put this in the grid. Call 12. I think we're just going to do call 6 and call 6. Oops. All right, so that should be the same as the other one. I don't like that. I'm gonna center. Okay, what happened there? What did it do? Oh, 6. There we go. And pay. Ooh, what happened here? Some definite weirdness. Card number, all those things didn't show up. All right. There you go. All right, I'm going to drop that down to 8 because I actually like the look of the 8 better from user. So I went call 8 centered there on everything. So go to pay. Center. I'll do expiration date really doesn't need to be that big, but we'll do 6 and 4. And I was working on this stuff, but that's not there yet, so let's just do call 4 center. Okay, so 8, 8. I'm gonna have to push this over. So I can't, so I want these things on separate lines, or I want these on two of the same lines. So what I have to do is do call, let's do call 4, and then an at 3. This is call 2. This might push everything around. No, it did it. Okay. Now that can be bigger. Let's do 6. Cool. So now enter C. I entered something wrong. That's actually coming from Stripe now. And if I did 12, 12, it'd be like, nope. And then I'll take anything for that basically. But now it takes it. Cool. All right, so that's looking good. Yeah, let's change this. Call 8 center. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's just a little visual bug I can fix real quick. Where is that? That's in form group. So the issue is that I allow anything that's in a form group to have multiple slots. 2 slots really. So really what it's trying to do is this. Pre. But I don't want that. What happens if I just leave this empty? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna have to do something with the CSS there that says, it says what? How am I gonna handle that? This is one of those interesting little problems because I don't want a double border on this side and this side. So if I just went into the CSS and I actually just said, okay, give me a border on the left and the right, then what you end up having is a thicker border here once you have this thing. So I guess I'll just put the borders in there and get rid of the border on the templates. All right, so go over here. I gotta have a form group thing, right? I think it's input CSS. Nope, is it under form item? I never remember where I put these things. Left, right, grouped. Okay. Okay. So this is actually a little tricky. Because I have the little border radius in there. Oh man, okay, how do I want to handle this now? What comes to mind is I think I can do a couple of different things. So let me close out some of these things. I could pass something into the form group that tells you left or right, or both. That would be, I guess, okay. So I could say form group with, you know, start, finish, or pre-post, I guess would be. I can say with pre. Posts both. Then I can use that to kind of trigger some different CSS classes. I don't want to do that. If I have to do it, I will, but I really don't want to do that. I find that annoying. Like I want to kind of just have it work. All right, so we have. All right, so let's start by just putting it on the form text for a minute. So when something is grouped, I get rid of the border. Where's that? Border left, border right. Okay. Let's just look at that. Let's start there. Okay. So if I got rid of all of these things, there's going to be a little dimple right there. Yeah. So now you see that they're not connected. I could just push these in a little bit, and that kind of punts on the whole problem. All right. So, all right. Let's just try this. Margin dash. Minus 10. No, if I can spell correctly. That might not be too bad. Just a 2-pixel little margin. I think that kind of gets rid of the whole problem. So then we go back to grouped. So if you're pre-input, that means you're on this side, the left side right now. That would be margin right 2 pixels. And this would be think. Okay, well, it definitely works here. Doesn't look bad. Let's add a little thing. Oh. Oh. Oh, right. It's going to push that out. So we need the same thing. Minus. Top right, bottom left. Yeah, and then top right, minus 2 pixels. That should kill that. Not bad. Okay. All right, so that gets rid of that issue. Let me go back to workspace. It's still the same. All right, cool. Go pay. What just happened here? Something's going on. That's element is undefined. Instance no. Oh. Now if I refresh, those errors go away. Okay. So what's happening here is actually, it's not an issue from inertia, but it's inertia that's doing this. So because the way what it does is it basically injects the template into the DOM. So the whole page around it doesn't technically get replaced, which means the data outside of the inertia stuff, which means the standard HTML crap isn't getting reloaded, which is right, but not something I need for this page. So what I actually have to do, you register user that should take care of it. There you go. Now it loads. So basically it just needs to have that view data on that page. Okay, cool. So now what? Let's see here. I think that's, well, you know, now we have to just enter, you don't need to enter your name again. I already have that information. I was just playing around with it. And go pay. Yeah, now there's an error, which is fine, which is what I expected. Okay, so oops. All right. Cool. Where is this stuff now? All right, before I go on to the next thing, let's finish out this grid stuff because I'm going to be using it in a couple of places. So I want it to actually work. All right, so then where are we with that? Let's close this stuff out. I got a lot of stuff open here. So I think the only other thing I need to do now is make sure this will actually work with my queries, my media queries, I mean. The way I do my media queries, let's open the workspace page. So the way I like to do this is have a little prefix. So I want to say colon col. Now that would work on small and down, or extra small and up. SM col 8, and then, you know, whatever. So let's make sure. All right, so let's go back to the grid. Bring this over here. Something was not working though. So this query was, I don't think, actually rendering correctly. So if I did, how do I want to do this? Let's see. Media queries as CSS. So I have really just these two things. This at is just going to grab from my map. That'll find the correct media query and dump all the content in there. And then this query function, or mixin, will just, you pass it in a size, it gets the class name, and it creates everything for you at that right size. So these are my sizes. Okay. Okay, so let's start with let's just play with this guy right here, the min width of, yeah. I don't think I put any other queries in here. Let's find out. Okay, good. I only had the one. That's the only one I want to mess around with at the moment in time. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to say So that's obviously not working. Let's pop this into this view. Let's see what it's doing. The hell is, oh, we'll get there in a minute. Grid call for center. Okay. So I'm definitely past the 5, whatever. And never sees SM call 8. Okay. So I want to look at my CSS for a minute. The actual rendered output. Let's see what this is doing. Ah. Went a little too high. So it appended it to the grid. Break everything else. All right, I broke something. No, that should be matched. What are you not seeing? Oh, there. There we go. That should fix it. There we go. Nope, not yet. Well, got it right. So SM call 12. Oh. I didn't put it anywhere else. So let's try that again. All right. And now it should shrink. Perfect. It's ugly. Yeah, I'm not worried about that part just yet, but it is doing its media query thing. I'm going to need to automate this because this is going to be ridiculous if I try to do it this way. But the process itself is pretty easy. It's just, it gets kind of rote. It's just query, query, query. And then if I did another one, it would be include query MD and the same thing. And it's really the same code. So let's automate this whole thing. And we're going to do that. So we'll say 4. From 1. Now, here's what I never remember. Let's do 12. I think 1 to 12 would actually do 1 through 11. Is there a through? That didn't break anything, so yeah. 1 through 12. Interpolation, $i. And then whatever number it is. So let's start with this part. Okay, that part passes. And if I go here, well, the centered part won't work. And because the centered part doesn't work, the whole thing doesn't work. All right, so let's do centered. What is a centered column look like? Let's from 1 to 12. 1 through 12. I think you can do modulo math, right? If I know that's not the right number, but let's see what that gives us. $10. There we go. 6, 4, 2. Okay, so cool. So modulo math works. Now what's the number here? That's the. So this should be span I. And the grid column it should start at is where? If you have 12 and you want to center it, it would be 0. If you have 10 and you want to center it, it's 10. Okay, so it's the number 12, the number of columns, total number of columns minus the span, which is 2 divided by 2. That's the thing. Ooh, okay. Let's start is equal to Total number of columns, 12. I'll have to put this into a variable, but minus your span, which is your I. All that divided by 2. Oh. Everything's a little off. Yeah, it's not right. Okay, what did I do? Let's see. Let's look at this. Oh, maybe you don't need to divide by 2. Right? Wait, okay. No, you want to span 10. So it should be starting at column 1, span 10. Oh, wait. 0 is not a thing. So +1? I think I need a +1. Yep. Huzzah, math. This is the page where I gotta see. Ah. Oh no, that's just the at stuff. Okay. Yeah, 0 starts at 1. So everything starts at column 1, doesn't start at column 0. And now I have this weird col 12 center, but who cares? All right, so that handles all the columns, all of the centering. Now we need to do the like pushing things that I created. Which are these, like at? So I'm gonna actually do this. So I'm going to change the name of it too. So instead of having it be just .at, it'll be call at. So call at 4. And that'll be where it starts. It's just the number. I don't think there's any... Wait. So we don't need 0 or 1. All right, so that takes care of all these. Yeah, everything except for queries. I will have to go back to that other page and change it, but that's fine. Now, how are we going to do the queries? Do I want, yeah, I want both of these to exist. Okay, so I'm going to need to loop over the map. Each var and list. So each what the hell is it called? MQ. Nope, it's the other way around. Oops. No. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Oh, broke it more. Okay, do this in key value. What is this? Map each. I don't know how to do an each. Nope. Okay, so it is comma. Name glyph. That gives you this, and then that gives you that. All right. All right, so I did that part right. So we got query key. Key should be like XS or something like that, right? Grid. Let's open default again. XS and then that. Oops. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. This is just in the totally wrong place. Let's just get rid of that. And that. And that. I'll probably get rid of that. And that. I think I still broke it, but I think it was not running also. Yeah, all right, I fixed it. Well, I fixed that part. So really what I have to do is put it up here. Each. Yeah, and then the whole thing. Oh, it compiled, okay. Now I need to look at my CSS. Here you go, media correctly. XS call 1, XS call 2. Call 2 center. And now it'll do one of those for each. And then I do need to repeat it. Yeah, see, exactly like this. So I can get rid of that. So now everything should be the same here. Should look the same. I mean, that's going to be, yeah, okay, good. So everything looks the same. There's still some issues there that I got to fix. So now where do we got to go to fix this? Parish review, thank you. So first thing we should do, let's move that to the side. So let's say I want to do col 12, and then when we get larger than a certain size, we can say XS col 8 center. So now again, that should be fine. Now I should go lower than the card number. So it's 8 centered, then it gets too small, or it gets small, and then it does the whole thing. So it starts here, boop, awesome. So we can do the same thing here. We can say col 12, col 8 center. And now this I want to be col at 3. How to push the whole thing over. Col at 3. There's no col at 3. Oh, I put this inside. So it was basically doing col 3 at 3 or whatever. Let's get rid of that there. And that should be col. We do want inside the query. Wait, I just lost it. That should take care of that. Or not. What'd I do? Col at 6. Oh, I didn't think that would override that. All right, well, the ugliest fix I could do is I'm going to get rid of that, but I got to just make sure that this is going to work. Okay. So grid column start. So the auto is, that's so weird. the weird part to me is that in the order of the CSS, it should be overriding it. So we have all this stuff looping over the number, so it creates col 6, and then it creates col at 6. But grid column is taking precedence over grid column start. I really don't want to leave an important in there. So the question is, I guess I could do just a grid column start. I bet you that'll take care of it. But then what the hell's the other one? Grid column end. So grid column is shorthand for grid column start and grid column end. I'm not using any thing in here, right? No, okay. So let's try this. There we go. That took care of it. That did get rid of the thing, right? No important in there. Ah, still got my important. Oh, because I did this in the media query one. Wait, why does that have grid column then? Start is auto. If I flip them around, does it work? All 6. Okay, so it doesn't work. Okay. Okay, now there's a question. Do I need grid column start? Well, I guess for centering I do. But if I go here and I just get rid of that, it still works. Same here, I'm assuming. So grid column end with just a span is going to work. And then I can just say grid column start. Okay, let's try that. So obviously the centers need that. I don't need the starts. There we go. Let's go back. What the hell happened here? Oh, okay, I was just messing with this. Okay. All right, wow. So that grid stuff is, I think, done for now. There may be some more changes later, but right now this looks pretty good. So we have a way of starting at whatever column we want. We have centered columns. We have, yeah, 1 through 12. I think the only thing I'm going to do is just I'll add a variable for number of columns, so that way I could control that if I wanted to, but there's really, I can't see myself needing it more than 12. I usually just use a 12 column grid. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks everybody. Actually looks like this worked. So I don't know if that's Streamlabs that worked or or getting rid of the second monitor. I don't know. But anyway, thanks everyone. Have a great day.